Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate how to use for each loop with arrays in Java. So let's get started. For each loop is one of the special loops which is designed especially for using with arrays and collections. So collections I'm going to cover in the upcoming sessions, guys. For now, we are with arrays. Okay, we can use this for each loop either with arrays or with collections. So collections is a future topic. Collections is a future topic. As I am now covering the topics on arrays, I am going to show you how to use this special loop which is designed for arrays and collections, that is for each loop. So when I was explaining about the control flow statements in the previous sessions, when I was explaining about these control flow statements, there is one category under this control flow statements known as iterative slash looping statements. Right? There was a category known as iterative or looping statements. Under that iterative or looping statements, we have different type of statements like while loop, do while loop. Then next we have the for loop, and the final one was for each loop. These were the four different loops that were there as part of the iterative or looping statements of control flow statements in Java, which I covered in the previous session. While I was explaining about these different looping statements we have, I covered only up to for loop at that point of time. And coming to the for each loop, I mentioned that I'll be covering this with arrays in the coming sessions. Okay, for each loop works with arrays and also collections. But now, right now, the time has come for me to explain about arrays. I am explaining arrays at this point of time. So I can now demonstrate this special loop, that is for each loop, which will work only with arrays and collections in Java. Okay. So how to use this special for each loop, which is designed for arrays and collections for iterating through these arrays and accessing the elements of these arrays. I'm going to show you right away. So in the previous session, I showed you how to use a traditional for loop for accessing or iterating to the all the elements of this array and accessing all the elements of the array, right? This I covered as part of the previous session. Let me comment this right now. Now here, instead of using the traditional for loop, I would like to use the special for each loop, which is designed for arrays. So whenever you get a chance of using some loops with arrays, the preferred loop is this special loop, that is for each loop. Instead of you directly jump and use this traditional for loop, okay, you have to give the preference to the special loop, that is for each loop. But how to use for each loop? For the first time, I'm covering this for each loop, guys. How to use this for each loop? You see, similar to the traditional for loop, you have to give the for keyword, okay, in the for each loop also. Give the circular brackets, starting of the for each loop, ending of the for each loop. Now, inside the circular brackets of the for, you just write colon symbol. You just type colon symbol. Now, on the right side of this colon symbol, you give the name of the array. Here, name of the array in this example is AR. Give that AR here. And on the left side of this colon symbol, you just give some variable name, any variable name, A, B, C, D, E, Z, X, Y, whatever. Okay, I'm just giving E in this case. Okay, I'm just taking E as a name of the variable. E colon array. This is array, and here variable name is E. And now you need to declare this particular variable E with the type of individual element of this array. You see, in this particular array, we are storing 6 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each and every element individually if I take, for example, individually if I take the element 3, which type it is? It is int type. Total array is integer array type. Total array is integer array type. But one of the element, if I pick one of the element of this array and see what type this particular element is, it is just int type. So that int you have to give. Don't give the entire type of the array. Rather give the type of the data type of the individual element of the array. If there are 6 elements stored in that, pick one element and which type of that element it is. It is just int type. Don't give integer array here. Just give the type of the element, okay? Individual element of the array type you have to give here. Int E colon AR. Like that we have to write. Okay, this is how we need to write the for each loop. And inside this for each loop, you write system.out.println and just directly print the variable e. So how this for each loop is going to work? How this for each loop is going to work? So in the you see in AR there are six elements getting stored. Okay, in this particular array there are six elements stored: 9, 5, 3, 7, 1, 2. Right. So in the first iteration, okay, in this for each loop, while the for each loop starts execution, here AR contains 9, 5, 3, 7, 1, 2. In that, what is the first element which is stored in the array out of this 9, 5, 3, 7, 1, 2? 9, right? Are there elements available in this array? First of all, the question you have to raise here is, are there any elements available in the array? 9, 5, 3, 7, 1, 2. Yes, there are six elements available in the array. In that first element is 9, that will be assigned to E. We'll go inside the for loop and the value which is currently stored in E is 9, right? So 9 will be printed. After that, the control will go to AR. Now AR contains the remaining elements. 9 is already assigned to E. So remaining elements are this. Remaining 5 elements are there in this array. 5, 3, 7, 1, 2. Total, are there any elements in the array? Yes, there are 5 elements left out in the array. In that, what is the first element? 5. So 5 will be assigned to E, and will, since some value got assigned to the E from the array, will go inside the for each loop, and when you print E, that value 5 will be printed. Now again, AR, are there any elements available in the array? Yes, there are 4 elements available in the array. In that, what is the first element? 3 is the first element. 3 will be assigned to E, and since one element got assigned to E, we'll go inside the for each loop. And here when you print E, what will be printed? 3. Okay, out of the 4 elements, first element is 3. 3 will be assigned to E, and we went inside and 3 got printed here. Now again, are there any other elements available in the array? Yes, there are 3 more elements available in the array. In that, what is the first element? 7. 7 will be assigned to E. Since one element got assigned to E, we'll go inside the for each loop. And when you print E, the current value which is stored in the E, that is 7, will be printed. After that, again, the control will go to array. Are there any other elements available in the array? Yes, there are 2 elements available in the array. So in that, array will assign the first element 1 into this variable E. Since one value got assigned to this E as part of this, the iteration will continue, and when you print E, the value which is stored into the E, 1 will be printed. Again, the control will go to AR. Are there any elements available in the array? Yes, there are elements available in the array. In that, what is the first element? 2. 2 will be assigned to E. Since one element got assigned to E, the iteration will continue, and when you print E, 2 will be printed. After that, control will go to AR. Are there any elements available in the array? All the elements are in the array are completed here. No more elements left out. Since no elements are available and no value can be assigned to E, will come out of this for each loop. This is how the for each loop is going to work, guys. This is how the for each loop is going to work. So let me run the code, right click run as Java application, and see that 9537112. So similar to the traditional for loop, the for each loop is also working, right? 9537112. Okay, so whenever you get a situation where you have to use some loop with arrays, you have to give the first preference to the for each loop rather than the traditional for loop. You have to first use for each loop. If not possible with the for each loop, then only you have to go for the traditional for loop. So is there any situation where I need to use traditional, I can use traditional for loop and I cannot use for each loop with arrays? Let's say I want to print only this 537. Out of all the elements which are stored into this array, I just want to print 537 only. Only these three elements of the array I want to print. Okay, I want to access only these three elements of the array. I don't want to access all the elements of the array. Can I use for each loop? No. You see, when I use for each loop, it will access all the elements of the array. But if I want to access only this particular three elements of the array, it won't be possible with the help of for each loop. So, how it will be possible with for loop? Let me show you practically how it will be possible with the for loop. Let me show you that. Let me uncomment this. Just give me a second. Okay. So here we have the for loop, right? Traditional for loop, right? So in case of traditional for loop, I can access only the required number of elements of this array. Like from 5 to 7, 537, I want to retrieve and print here. I don't want to retrieve and print all the elements of the array. What I can do with the for traditional for loop that I cannot do with the for each loop is here 3 is 5 from 5, right? Index is 1, right? So I'll start with 1 here. You see, I have the possibility of deciding which index and all. 1, 2, 3. I less than I less than 4 I'll give. So what will happen? The first iteration I is 1. So when we go inside this 1 less than 4, AR of 1. What is AR of 1? AR of 1 is 5. So 5 will be printed first. After that I plus plus. Okay, I will become 2 now. Earlier I was 1. Now it became 2. 2 less than 4. True again. Go inside AR of 2. What is AR of 2? 3 will be printed. 3. Now I will become 3. 3 less than 4. True again. AR of 3. That is 7 will be printed. I plus plus. I will become 4. 4 less than 4 is false. Will come out of the this traditional for loop. Only 537 will be printed. Only 537 will be printed. But this kind of thing, if I want to print only 537 from this array, is it possible with for each loop? Not possible. Okay, so you have to give the first preference to the for each loop. That's important. But when for each loop cannot solve your problem, that traditional for loops can solve with arrays sometimes. Okay, then only you have to go with the traditional for loops. This is one example where we have to use traditional for loop over the actual for each loop. Okay, if you are dealing with all the elements of the array, for each loop will be better over the traditional for loop. For each loop will be better when you are dealing with all the elements of the array. That is, if you want to iterate through all the elements of the array, then go for each loop over traditional for loop. If you only want to iterate with few elements of this array out of all the elements of the array, then use traditional for loop with array, because for each loop cannot help in that case or situation. So hope guys you understood. What is for each loop, and how can we use for each loop with arrays, that is single dimensional arrays in Java. Okay. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.